Across New Zealand, more than 150 families or individuals are relying on emergency accommodation for a roof over their heads on any given day. And for people who are on Housing New Zealand's wait list for a home, a lot of Christmas stresses are multiplied by having to stay in motels. Our reporter Nita Blake-Person and cameraman Nick Monroe visited a motel in South Auckland to hear about one family's stay.
This is what I'm supposed to cook on, is that.
Inside Ngawai Cole's South Auckland motel room, things are cosy to say the least.
I have 4 children who live in this little unit with me. It's different from where I was before. I was living in a women's and children's shelter in Rotorua. But in this kind of scenario, I suppose it's a bit more squashed.
A double bed and a single bed have been pushed together. Even then, one person has to sleep on the floor.
Excuse the mess, people, please. I have no furniture and all that, so I just had a lot of bedding and clothes and just little bits and pieces, but this is all that we own.
She's been in emergency housing for the past 9 months. Most of that time she's been in Rotorua, but a few weeks ago she headed north to be closer to family.
Over here is our kitchen. And as you can see, it's pretty small. It has this little small fridge, and we can't really fit enough kai in there for me and my family. This is the bathroom, excuse the mess. I've had to add things into here just to hold things up, and because all the stuff we bought, there's no shelves or nothing in there, or no cupboards, so I've had to bring things in myself and just make it homely. But yeah, other than that, it's got what we need.
Ms Cole is paying $111 a week for her motel room, leaving her with around $250 of her benefit for her and her children.
I don't want to be in this situation with my kids. We've always had a home. I've come up here for a better life for my girls. They both started NZMA this year, or next year. I started MIT.
She's paying off a debt at $40 a week, money that's being deducted from the leftover cash.
Being in here, I've still got to try looking for rentals. My name's bad. That's why we're emergency housing, you know. There's a lot of reasons why a lot of us do it, and mine is because my name's bad and I can't get another rental. And just the fact that I can't afford it. It's a bit harder, I suppose, when you're, I don't know, trying your hardest and you're getting nowhere. You want to give up, and I think that's sometimes how I feel.
Ngawai Cole was put up in this motel on the day she arrived in Auckland. She knows that's not the case for everyone.
I've met a lot of people here that are going through this situation that can't get housing. You know, they can't get emergency housing, and some of them are old. Some of these people that I've met are old, and they keep getting chucked from place to place, and it's not right.
Of the 7 or so families we spoke to at motel units across South Auckland, 4 had been staying there for 3 months or more, with one couple going on 13 months. There were young families, toddlers, teens and pregnant women. Most didn't want to be filmed, but none of those we spoke to were looking forward to spending Christmas in their motel units.
You want to be with whānau and friends, but you can't because you live here, you know, or you can't invite them to your place because it's too small. But then I suppose when you're in a situation like this and you do come around to Christmas, that one day is joyful for you because you're not thinking about your situation. You're just thinking about the food and the presents and the laughter you're going to have. And then until that day's over, then it's back to reality for us. And I think that's what brings us most down, is the reality of this all.
The state housing waitlist leapt this year from just over 6,000 people last December to 9,500 by September. Housing New Zealand says it will have 1,100 more homes available by next Christmas, but Ngawai Cole says that's not fast enough.
Sort us out, help us out, make the moves faster for us. And for those of you that are waiting, just keep waiting, don't give up. I mean, it's a long process. Some people have been waiting for years, but at the end of the day, you'll be grateful when you get your house, because it'll be yours, and it'll be warm, and you can have whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, but just hold up. Just wait. And Housing New Zealand, let's go. Let's get the show on the road. That's all I can say.
It'll be Christmas at the beach for Ngawai Cole and her family this year, but she's hopeful next time around they'll be in a place of their own. For Checkpoint, Nita Blake-Person.